YouTube friends, just want to show you what we got growing on here for tomatoes. Just been doing my potting up. Had a friend ask me if I could do some of these, sort of basic videos. If you haven't done a lot of gardening in the past, then you may learn something. And if you've done a lot of gardening, I apologize for boring you, but I just want to go through really quick, what we're growing this year. We've got 12 different types. Bonnie Best, 55 days until you start getting some tomatoes out of them, and that's, I just make little notes on here, that's indeterminate, which means it's just going to keep growing until it gets killed off by the frost. Romas, they tend to be a little bit more of a determinate, which means they'll get to a certain height and they set all their fruit at once, and then that's what you get. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, beefsteaks, just a pretty classic standby. Nice tomato. That's indeterminate as well. So again, that's gonna, any indeterminates are gonna be able to grow, 6-7 feet high. Yellow pear. This did really well for us last year, and actually the year before. So, looking forward to getting these going again. Indeterminate as well. I tend to grow mainly indeterminate. This is the honeybee. Now this is a determinate semi-vining. So this is the type of thing that'd be fantastic in a hanging planter or a small container, that type of thing. These ones are awesome. They're absolutely huge. The yellow stuffers. They're just like a great big huge pepper. And again, you can pour them out and, pop in some yummy veg and some cheese and put that on the grill. Those are just fantastic. These are some of the coolest looking ones that I've grown. The old Germans. Yellow with a bit of orangey red on them. And again, indeterminate type. Early Cascade. I do try to get some of the early varieties because we don't have the longest growing season here. And anything that I can get producing sooner, I'm excited about. Amish paste. First time trying those. Apparently these are, second only to Romas for as far as making paste and canning. So, very curious. They look like they're a decent size, that's for sure. Early Girl, another indeterminate. Looks like something's going to be delicious. And one of my all-time favorites, Sweet Million. These put out so many tomatoes. I just absolutely, last year, what did I have? I think I had 2 of them, and neither one of them made it. So, I've taken care of that this year. The only other one that I don't have in there is the rainbow variety, which is what I'm just going to pot up here now. The rainbow variety is kind of cool because it gives you red ones, green ones, black ones, purple ones, kind of pinky type tomatoes. So you get a whole bunch of different types on each plant. So just move a couple of these things out of the way and show you really quick how I do my potting up. It's pretty simple. I tend to reuse as much as possible, so a couple seasons worth. Make sure you pop a few holes in the bottom for drainage. And there's no hard and fast rules as far as, to me anyway, for as far as gardening goes. So put some soil in, make a little hole, get these guys out of the plug, gentle. Now when there's 2 of them growing in there, I kind of flip off the dirt there on the top and get a nice little root system going on. Hold on, I'm going to shut that off. I'm already up. I don't know why I'd need an alarm. So I'll pop it in there, throw a little bit more dirt around the sides, tamp it down a little bit, not too hard. I mean, you're certainly not looking to have, no room for the roots to grow, and at the same time, you'd like to avoid having a bunch of air in there. So, I mean, again, it's dead simple. It couldn't be easier. I know I've heard a lot of my friends say, "Oh, I can't grow tomatoes. They never seem to do well for me," or what have you. The only purpose of a seed is to grow. So, you've almost got to put an effort in to not get these things to pop up. I mean, stay on top of your watering every couple of weeks. hit them with a light fertilizing. I tend to try to go with organic, although like what am I using? Kelp, concentrated seawater, fish emulsion. But it's just inside in the garage in the winter, that fish emulsion smells exactly like you think it smells. So I know a lot of people like to use, the chemical fertilizers, and I try to go organic as much as I can, but at the end of the day, your plants need food. So something is better than nothing. So again, just get rid of some of the loose dirt on the top. Gently tease those apart. Nice little root system on the go. Pop him into his new home. I tend to plant all of my tomatoes deeper every time I repot them up, because throughout the stem you're going to get more roots growing, and then by the time I get them ready to actually go outside, I'll have the bottom couple sets of leaves cut off, and I'll end up planting them more often than not more than a foot deep. They just seem to absolutely love it. So again, extremely simple. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Toss a little soil in there. What I'm using as far as this mix goes is just some compost, store-bought compost, because my pile's still frozen, and some potting mix, and then I put it through a riddler or a sieve, just to get all the chunky lumpies out. Plants' roots don't particularly care for having obstacles to grow through. So again, this is about the simplest thing that I think a fella could do. I do want to take a little bit of that dirt off there. Just see if I can get this a little bit lower down into the cup. Add a little bit of soil. Give it a little pat down. And there we go. So what are we going to do with you, buddy? I wanted to get started as early as I could. These all got started on March the 5th. So, what are we looking at? 24 days-ish type of thing. So, I mean, they're coming on fantastically. I'll end up potting these up into a red solo cup. So obviously you can see how that would give the roots a lot more room to grow, and then from there I may put it into a 1 gallon pot before it's actually ready to go into the garden. But there you have it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No reason why a person can't grow their own tomatoes. But I went a little crazy. Pick this up. So we've got 12 different varieties. Most of these here are what I'm going to plant for me. I potted these all up yesterday, and obviously these just right now. And I threw an ad up on the local community share website, and I was overwhelmed by the response. I could not believe it. Just in a couple of hours, I had to have had at least 30 people send me an email or private message or whatever you want to call it, saying that they're interested and they'd desperately like some of the tomatoes. I'm not selling them. I don't really grow to sell. If I had a greenhouse and a nursery, that'd be a different story, but not yet. But yeah, I've had responses from a school just outside of town. I guess they're getting all their raised beds ready to go. They'd love some for the students, so I was like, absolutely, we'll put some away for you. And I mean, I think I'm going to be able to get rid of, or rehome, I guess is a better way to put it. I got a compost pile outside if I just wanted to get rid of them, but I'm going to be able to rehome about 70 of these. So, I don't know. I mean, at first I was thinking, that's a little bit ridiculous. Why the heck would you plant that much? And then I remember, how unmotivating winter can be with nothing growing. So, I used these little 6-pack seed trays. Obviously popped a couple of seeds in each one. Seeds are fairly inexpensive, so I'm not too much of a miser when it comes to that. I enjoy intensive planting, even out in the yard. I sometimes plant things maybe a little bit closer than what they should be, but whatever. At the end of the day, the fruits might be a little bit smaller, but there's more of them to enjoy. So today, we'll take a look actually tonight when see how many of these I've been able to get rid of. But I believe I've got about 15, 20 people popping over today to grab some. And you know what? In the future, I might just do this again anyway. It's fun for me, and yeah, it was really weird seeing, or not weird, heartwarming, nice to see all the different responses from people. Just so thankful. Like, what are you in charge? How much? Nothing. I grow stuff because I love growing stuff, and if it can help somebody else out and give them a good home, then we'll call it happy. Just make sure you send me pictures of your harvest. All right, we'll check in with you later. What's growing on? You will notice something a little different about these trays from the last shot. They are empty. I started off the day with 76 of the tomato starts. Of course, I've got mine put off to the side for the year. A couple of really close buddies and a friend's mom that spoke out earlier that I have theirs off to the side. But 76 of them. The only ones that are not actually out of my garage right now are these 12 here. That's one of every variety, and those are actually spoken for by the Crestamere School, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully I can chat with the administration staff or teacher that comes to pick it up, and possibly drive out there and do a little video of what's growing on out in Crestamere. So I just think that's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. I want to just say thanks to everybody that showed interest yesterday. That was awesome. I mean, I had so many messages, and unfortunately, I'm not a Facebook individual, and I don't really know how to work it very well. So I didn't realize that. I guess I had put the tomato ad up on a couple of different sites, and I didn't get the messages from the one site until everything was basically gone. So I felt extremely bad that those people were interested, and I didn't get back to them. I will get better at this. I absolutely promise. But in the next video, I think what we're going to do is I've got a selection of 12 medicinal herbs that are cold hardy for our lovely, lovely climate here, and I'm going to be going over some of the traditional uses for them and how to plant them, what the seeds look like, where they should be growing, and once I get the seeds sown, whatever I have left, I'll be willing to give away as well. So stay tuned, and we will give away some more stuff. If you like these types of videos, please do me a favor and leave some comments below. I love the interaction. You can also subscribe to the channel. If you'd like updates of when I post new videos, just hit that little bell symbol beside the subscribe button. And as always, share with anybody that's into growing things, because I met so many cool people yesterday, and we all share the exact same passions. Everybody wants to get growing stuff now that the snow's gone. So again, thanks guys, and stay tuned for the next one.